What's good, y'all? I am going to go over the last step of how to fix your credit, which is credit utilization. So basically, we're really past the fixing credit part, and we're really into the building your credit part. If you watch my last part on fixing or building your credit, I just did that on part six. So I skipped over credit utilization to get to building credit just to go back to credit utilization. So that's where we are right now. We're going to watch this short video. This probably won't be very long. It's very simple and straightforward to the point, and we'll just go from there, okay? All right, so let's start this up.
Step 5. Credit utilization. The toughest part of fixing your credit is removing negative items from your credit report. This is because you have to petition the credit bureaus and creditors to remove the negative marks on your credit report. You are not in total control when it comes to removing negative marks. However, with credit utilization, you have complete control. You can make a dramatic impact on your credit score by simply paying down your revolving credit. Revolving credit is a type of credit that allows you to draw money from the account up to your credit limit. Then as you repay it, the amount of credit available to you rises again. There are three primary types of revolving credit: credit cards, personal lines of credit, and home equity lines of credit. Credit utilization is based solely on revolving credit. Essentially, your credit cards and lines of credit. Installment loans like your mortgage or an auto loan do not factor into your credit utilization. We recommend using the debt snowball elimination method to quickly pay off your revolving credit. The debt snowball method is a debt reduction strategy where you pay off the debt in order of smallest to largest, gaining momentum as you knock out each balance. When the smallest debt is paid in full, you roll the money you were paying on that debt into the next smallest balance. Aim to keep the balance below 30% of your available credit. Credit scores are highly sensitive to your credit utilization ratio. A credit utilization ratio of 10% or below is a healthy goal to shoot for in order to get the best credit score possible.
We discussed that last time, 10% or under. So if you have a credit card for $200, then 10% of that is $20. You don't want your balance to be over $20. That's ideally, that is not real life. That is in a perfect world. In reality, it's like 30%. You're not going to get docked for 30% or lower, but try not to go over 30%. But 10% is in a perfect world.
The lower your credit utilization ratio, the better.
All right, so let's talk about this. So basically,
Step 5.
So basically, credit cards, you need something on your credit to constantly tell your credit score or your creditors that, hey, I'm paying something. If you're not paying anything on your credit or credit score, your credit profile, then how would people know to trust you? How would people know to that you're trustworthy as far as if they give you money? You got to be paying something. That's why I tell people all debt is not bad debt. You need some debt if you are not just super wealthy rich. You need some debt to prove that you have a good credit score, you can keep a good credit score, that you're good with money. So that's why credit utilization is important. Credit is a certain percentage of your credit score. Late payments, on-time payments, history, how long you've had these credit cards, those things are factors in your credit score. So it is important that when you get these credit cards that you're not spending like crazy. Here's my advice. I tell people this all the time. And I follow this advice, maybe not to the T, but I follow this advice for the most part. I have a lot of credit cards. If it was up to me, that wouldn't be that way. Well, it is up to me because I keep applying for them. But what I would do is, before I say it, credit cards can be used to save you money. A lot of rich people out here, a lot of people who maybe aren't rich, who maybe are six-figure people, maybe high five-figure people, a lot of them don't spend their paychecks. Like, they don't go buy stuff with their paychecks like a lot of people do. A lot of their paychecks they try to save. So they're either saving it or they're paying credit card bills. So what I would tell people is use your credit cards to pay your bills, like small bills. Don't go swiping your credit cards. You can't budget that way. You don't know the percentage of the card that you're using when you're swiping your credit card. Like, stop swiping. People say, oh, you can use it on gas. Yes, but gas is not a flat rate. Gas is not something that you say, oh, I spent $30 in gas a week. You might go drive to get your hair did. You might go across town to go on a date to the movies. You may just go to work one week. Like, it's not a flat rate. And you're looking at your statement like, where all these bills come from? I'm only spending it on gas. Well, you drove a lot this week. So what I would say, dude, this is what I did. With my credit cards, and they weren't that high. It was like $300 or something like that on the card. That was my limit. Put my Wi-Fi bill on there. My Wi-Fi bill is like $50 a month. So instead of paying $50 of my actual paycheck, I will put $50 a month on my credit card. And then my credit card bill at the time was, and it still is, my credit card bill at the time was $25 a month. So if you're doing the math, my Wi-Fi bill is $50 on a $300 card, right? Let's do the math. $300, let's see, Wi-Fi bill $50 divided by 300. That's 16% balance. So if I have a $300 card and I put my Wi-Fi bill for $50 a month, $50 balance on a $300 card is apparently 16.7%. That's my balance. What's the balance percentage? I said stay under 30%. So we're good. And you have a credit card bill. So your credit card bill for me was $25 a month. So essentially what's going on is, instead of me paying out of my own paycheck $50 a month for my Wi-Fi bill, I'm putting it on a credit card on money somebody else gave me. Then I'm taking $25 out of my paycheck to pay on the card. All right. So now the credit card's $300. The balance is $50 from my Wi-Fi bill. But I paid $25 that month. So 50 minus 25 is 25, right? So what's 25 divided by 300, which is the credit card limit? So now we're down to 8%. You see where I'm going? Now eventually it will rise because you'll have another month that's $50 and you pay another 25. So now it will gradually, your balance of your credit card will gradually rise. But 4, 5, 6 months later, you can slap an extra 50 or 60 if you want to, or maybe you want to pay twice on small payments on like the 5th or 6th month and then go back to square one. But what's happening is it keeps your credit balance low, and it also saves you money because you're not taking $50 out of your paycheck every month of the year. 50 times 12 months is $600 a year. So instead of you paying $600 a year on your Wi-Fi out of your own paycheck, you're really paying $25. That's $300 out of your own paycheck for your Wi-Fi bill. And maybe $350, $360 if you just put a little extra on your credit card, because your balance is gonna rise little by little. So it saves you money, and it also keeps you from swiping your credit card so much that you're blowing the whole credit card, and the last thing you want is credit card debt. Credit card debt is probably right there with student loans. It's hard to pay off credit card debt because of interest and things like that. Like, you don't want to screw yourself on those. Do I have credit cards that are high? Yes, maybe like 2 or 3, but I have 20 something cards. So me having 2 or 3 high credit cards don't really affect me with my other credit cards I barely even use. So one of my cards I do my Wi-Fi bill. One of my other cards I put my phone bill on. One of my other cards I put my car insurance, but my car insurance is only $60 a month. I know some people's car insurance is crazy. If you have a crazy bill, do not put it on your credit card. I would advise Wi-Fi, phone. I have another one for, I go to the gym. My gym is $25 a month. I put that on another credit card. I have a storage unit for like $30. I put that on another credit card. So really what's happening is I'm just splitting things. I'm using my credit cards, but I'm not swiping them, right? So I barely even look at the balance because there's almost no point in me doing it because I'm not spending very much on these cards anyway. Now, if they get a little high, I'll put some extra money down on them, things like that. Also, I do use credit cards in like emergency situations. So you will have situations where you might swipe the card when you don't have any money. Like I remember one time I was stranded because I lost my debit card. I lost my debit card at a gas station. I left it on the counter. And so I had to use my credit card to drive from home, state to state, to get to my hometown to get to where I lived. So I spent a lot of money on my card, but I wasn't stranded no more. So they can be used in emergency situations, but when you do, it's gotta be an emergency. I was gonna be stranded. I chose not to be stranded. And so then I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to pay this card down later. But anyway, this is about credit utilization. Please use your credit cards wisely. Watch this video over if you need to. If you have any questions, DM me, everything like that. Also, as I always say, here's my Instagram. I'm in the industry, artist, music producer, photographer, videographer, actor, everything like that. Here's my page. I hope y'all enjoyed it. And I day trade too. So I hope y'all enjoyed it. I hope y'all have a great Sunday and be safe and love, all that good stuff.